Well, I just did a couple things to the bike. The shorter kickstand is on it, so it leans over better. Before, if I turn the wheel this way with the other kickstand on it, the bike was actually straight up and down. It was actually almost getting ready to fall over. So now it's got the proper lean, which is cool. I don't really want to take it around like that because somebody just bump into it and knock it over real easy, the way it was before. So and if I get replacement shocks, I'm not going to get replacement shocks. I just tighten these up a little bit. I put a little more, use a shock adjusting wrench on them. And they're kind of low, but if I ever had to get replacements, I'm going to get lower ones, but not as low as that, so the kickstand will work with new ones if I ever got them. The next step I did was I put, these are the stock fork caps. I got the, he's loose on here. I didn't change these out yet. I didn't change the fluid lead. I installed these first, and that was loose because I didn't even, I'm going to change the fluid right now. I did not change the fluid first and then install these because I said, let me get these on here because these are going to be a royal pain in the butt. And yes, they were. I had to use the breaker bar with a pipe to break them loose. And I don't know why that was, because I don't see any anti-seize on here. I put anti-seize on the ones I installed. Now to put those on there, I stand on a stepping stool and get some leverage, and you got to use this special socket right here. And I have my hand, I use gloves, and I have my hand up over on that, but on that I wrap that with rag because, you know, this will hurt your hand. You're pressing it down. You got to really, and I stand on a stepping stool, so I'm like really high because I'm leaning my whole body weight into it, and I put anti-seize on the threads, and it takes you about 10-15 minutes just messing around with it, unless you're you know, 300-pound muscle man. You're probably doing it in 2 minutes. Not me, like well under 200, man. So anyway, that's that. I'm going to change the fluid right now. The fluid is, you take these screws out. Sometimes they're in there really tight. You want to have to use some vice grips to get them out. They're just a Phillips screw. They're not designed to be torqued in there too much, but if they've been in a long time, you might need some vice grips to get them out. You do the forks up and down a bunch of times. You pump all the oil out of it, and then now you can put the oil in through this little insert cap without taking this thing off. You don't have to mess around with the spring. And on this bike, it's got the 39mm Showa forks. So wet, which means they're not rebuilt and it's totally dry. There's always going to be a few ounces in there. You use 9 ounces. So this thing actually goes up to, well, it goes up to 8 ounces, and then you fill it right up to the top, it's 9. So that's like the perfect measurement for it. And I got a long funnel. I've done it a bunch of times on my other bike. And I got some Bell Ray fork lube. The next thing, we're going to put the windshield on it. And tomorrow I got the parts coming are the saddlebag, and what else is coming? Oh, the ignition key. I'm still hot wiring it. And one other thing. Gee, I can't remember. It was something I needed. I know that. I know it was something. No, it wasn't something fluff. Oh, mirrors. The mirrors, because I can't see behind me. And with these shorty mirrors, they're going to stand out to about there. I think that's what it is. I think that's all. 3 things left. Minor stuff, but it adds up. But you know, I shined up on this side a little bit better. You see, I'm still working on it. So the cam cover's looking like, almost looks like chrome, you know. It's not going to get exactly like chrome, but we shine it up more. We shine up the rockers and shine up this primary cover, make it pretty. What I probably will do, also want to mention, I found a 3.8 gallon. I got to double check which side the fuel comes out though. A 3.8 gallon King Sporty tank. So that would work with these bars. I don't have to mess with anything. And what I might do in the future is get handlebars that come up a little higher, no apes, just a little more rise, and this way, because these risers are perfect. I can see my gauge. I'll be able to see my voltmeter down here when I put that in there. And what I would have to change though is this brake cable. I think I can get away with the clutch cable, because I could just run it from this side and put it up over the top and have it come up this way. That'll give me, you know, that should give me enough, because there's enough stretch there. The brake cable I would have to change, and I'll put a braided steel one on there, stainless steel braided, which will be an improvement, you know. So, but I'm not doing that right away. These last few parts is just all I'm doing. It's just starting to be the large saddlebag, the mirrors, the ignition is started up, and the windshield. There might be something else. I can't remember what it was, but I think that's it. So right now we'll be changing out these fork oils, and we're going to put the windshield on it. Yeah, I just want to point out this tip. I always do this. I take a piece of cardboard, and you see I cut it out like that, and put a piece of tape on it, so when you're draining the oil, it doesn't get on the tire. It just goes right in there. Okay, simple, right? But just to show you. The fluid that came out of that bike looked very red, which means it probably was transmission fluid. So they might have changed it one time, but didn't look dirty. But the forks were kind of like spongy, and that might be why. So I put I don't know, with some performance 20 weight regular fork oil. So it should be fork oil. Usually I never seen it really red. It's like tan, like regular oil, beige, whatever. Oh, we got the little windshield on there. This is just a 2-point mount, just a handlebar mount. You can hardly notice it. That's what's good, because I didn't want nothing too much on a Sportster. My other one's got like a 4-point mount. It kind of comes out a little wider, so even though it doesn't cover the hands, the wind will deflect. It'll deflect a lot of the wind from the hands. I'm gonna see how this one works out. It's a quick change, so you just take these two things off here, just unscrew them, and it's gone. If you don't want it on here. So. But if you're on a highway and you're riding for a distance, you definitely like the windshield. It's not a big windshield. It's just better than nothing. You can't have everything in one bike. That's just how it is. But I'm glad I got two Sportsters now, because you know, working on one they're pretty similar. Only 2 years apart. One's a 4-speed, one's a 5-speed, so they're pretty similar. Glad I got the. I was kind of worried about getting those fork caps on there, because they are really, you got to press down pretty hard. I know a couple tricks on how to do it, but you know, like what I said to do before, but man, they're still not easy. So again, the only thing I got coming is the mirrors, the ignition switch, and I think the tool bag for the back. I don't know if there's something else. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think that's it. Just check the tire pressure. And so, you know, changing the fork oil was, you know, important, because it's a safety feature. The forks felt a little sticky. They seem like they're okay now. It's got the correct fork. It's a heavy duty. Usually you put like a 10 or 15 weight, just a 20 weight. So it's a little heavy duty. But you know, Florida, you know, it's pretty warm, so 20 weight's not too thick. It's correct stuff though. Yeah, I guess the only thing I might have to do is maybe adjust. I might take these caps off of here. These things are weird. What the hell? It's just a piece of chrome or something. I don't even know how it's on there, but it covers up the fork adjusters. Maybe I'll leave them on there. I don't know. But the chain adjusters chain is not too loose, but it could be a little tighter. But for now, it's all right. So tomorrow, when I get the ignition lock, I don't know, I might take it out for a little ride anyway right here, so who knows. But it looks, you know, it's getting there, man, for sure. It's definitely getting there. Yeah. And you know, I'm not gonna, the King Sporty Tank, I don't need that right away, because I got the other bike. This is really, the whole purpose behind this bike is, well, it's this. When I'm working on my bike, I don't like the fact that the bike is down, even though I know like it's going to be completed and stuff. Sometimes in your back of your head, you kind of rush things, because you're like, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. Now with the other bike, this bike, I don't have to worry about it. And number two, This bike's got a lot less wear and tear on it, man. I could tell the controls and everything like that. My controls, these are all yucky. These are, the numbers are all worn off and stuff, you know. My bike's got a lot more use than this. This thing's like a, you know, it's a 33-year-old bike. It's pretty new, you know, condition. I'll get those forks cleaned up some more. They'll probably look, you never get the aluminum like chrome exactly, but you get it pretty close. You can see it is pretty shiny. You know, I'm not going to go, I mean, I'm just going to do some here and there. So anyway, good value though, that's for sure. It's a really good value. Really good value.